Chicago, where the fire serve cold, but the Wolves and the Hawks never shiver in the snow. The Bulls keep it running, the Sox run the South, the Cubs run the North, but the Bears run the house. True Chicago sports fans got their ears to the street. Any team make a move and they never skip a beat. And in this house, this is where we be. Welcome to the show with E-Rock and Big Z.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the True Chicago Sports Fan Cave, this is the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z. Episode 94 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Great Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to greatclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official TCSF shirts now. As always, I am Big Z, and my boy E-Rock is out of town in Milwaukee doing his thing. So you get to hear my lovely voice all episode. That's right, E. Enjoy this. All right, everybody, welcome to the show. If you're a first timer or a long timer, please remember to hit that subscribe button, that notify button, and go ahead and give us a review on your listening app of your choice. You can find us on Facebook at True Chicago Fans. You can find us on Twitter at True Chi Fans and on IG at True Chicago Sports Fans. Don't forget, you can support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there and click on support, and you can subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month. What is going on, TCSF universe? Today in the loop, we talk about your Bulls hangovers. The Bears look towards the future with draft picks, and in 3 Up and 3 Down, the frustration with our baseball teams. All that plus stirring the pot and what you looking at. But first, this is the Big Three with Big Z. I'm Big Z, and you guys are not. Now, for today's stories, oh boy, do I got some stories for everybody this week. All right, so we have an update that we've been talking about for about a year. It feels like forever. Story number 1, Trevor Bauer. Oh no, this dude. Oh man, at one point I wanted him on my White Sox, but thank God we didn't get him. Trevor Bauer has a third accuser come forward after a 2-year MLB suspension has been handed down. A third woman has accused Trevor Bauer of sexual assault on the same day that the Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher was hit with an unprecedented 2-year suspension for violations of MLB's domestic violence and sexual assault policy. Before Friday, Bauer had been publicly accused by 2 different women of choking them to unconsciousness, like knocking them out during consensual sex. I'm over here doing air quotations because no one was there but them 2, and assaulting them while they were out. The third accuser claimed to the Washington Post that he did the same to her over several times in a years-long sexual relationship. The woman said she came forward after seeing Bauer deny allegations from his accusers. She told the Post that she has spoken with MLB about her allegations and is willing to testify against Bauer in his appeal of MLB suspension. Soon after the woman's account was published, Bauer tweeted a statement from his representatives denying that the allegations, accusing the woman of trying to extort him, and claiming the Post reporter, calling him the Harvey Weinstein of baseball. That is a heavy label to be put on somebody without a criminal prosecution. I mean, this is ridiculous. Ridiculous is the word. Trevor Bauer's never been a fan favorite of a lot of people. He rubs people the wrong way, or chokes people the wrong way. But this is something that just continues to snowball down, and I don't think that this pitcher, that Trevor Bauer, is going to have be able to recover in his career. This is something that's not gonna go away. I mean, you have 2 people that did that came up forward and testified, and now you have a 3rd person. This is ridiculous. Bauer has not pitched an MLB game since June 28 of 2021. And since then, he's been placed on administrative leave until that the case was heard and all that was going on. You have a lot of investigation with Los Angeles County, the district attorney, and a bunch of people. This is ridiculous. Do not expect to see this man pitch for a long time. Yeah, I know he's appealing it, but I don't think MLB wants that kind of black eye on the field. Story number 2. Let's spice it up and make it more positive over here. Katie Taylor edges Amanda Serrano by split decision to retain the undisputed title. We build this as the biggest female fight of all time, said Taylor's promoter Eddie Hearn, and it became one of the biggest fights in boxing today. We witnessed what was one of the greatest fights in the history of Madison Square Garden. It's history because it is the first women's boxing match to headline in Madison Square Garden. And just like my partner always says, it matters until it doesn't matter. Quick side note, Jessica McCaskill was part of the announcing team, providing her expertise on the mic. I gotta say, she does have a career after boxing as being a part of the announcing. She was smooth as butter, calling everything out. I really enjoyed the fight between Taylor and Serrano. It was just a slugfest. It was a slugfest. And in my opinion, if I had my scorecard was able to be turned in, I would have had the edge over to Serrano. I think Taylor lost a lot of early rounds, but also Serrano did kind of take her foot off the gas towards this 8th, 9th, and 10th round. It was one of the fights that you were like, oh man, this was a really good fight, and you want to see more. Hopefully there's a couple more rematches back that will allow you to get this slugfest going over and over. Both promoters came out and said that we will run it back. I don't know how often that does happen when promoters say something, because you don't believe them. I don't know. For me, promoters are slime balls. But if it does happen, to look for it in late September and early October. Story number 3. Oh boy, some of you guys are gonna love this one. Students at a Chicago area school fall ill after consuming THC-infused cereal. According to school officials, a student at James Hart School in Homewood, reported feeling ill to the school nurse. The student also reported having received from another student a small package, what looked like a popular cereal brand, Captain Crunch. The contents of the package, when taken out, also resembled the cereal. The student indicated that multiple students had also eaten THC-infused lookalike item. School officials say that the report prompted the administration to conduct an investigation, and that all students identified through the investigation have consumed the item and recovered and are feeling better. So this is kind of like the story of the story we talked about earlier, a couple episodes ago, where we had students show up with tequila. I don't know what these kids are doing nowadays. It is ridiculous. Stop trying to act grown. And if you have your own, gummies or THC infused whatever, lock that up. Don't leave that around on a kitchen table for someone in your family or someone just to be able to grab it and take it to show and tell, because these students are definitely trying to experiment, and they don't know any better. But Jesus, THC. I'm looking at the package. It looks exactly like Captain Crunch, and this is ridiculous. They're over here like, hey, how about you get some Captain Crunch? No sir, no thank you, no thank you. All right, everybody, that's been news to me. I'm Big Z, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey True Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15
for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey, this is Mikey O, and you're listening to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z. This is The Loop, our Chicago sports roundup where we keep you in the loop.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
All right, everybody. It is time to talk about the teams out of my house on Madison. And let's start with the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls have made a calculated decision last offseason with Zach LaVine entering a contract year and on a below-market deal. They could have given him a raise. They could have negotiated something. They could have said, hey, we're going to sign you for a long term. But instead, they used their cap flexibility to upgrade the rest of the roster, as you've seen, by adding Nikolai Vucevic, Vucci Man, and then DeMar DeRozan and Alonzo Ball and Alex Caruso. All that to make this team look good. But unfortunately, with a bunch of injuries, they ended up coming up short. So the goal was to build a winner with LaVine, and so that he would be comfortable with waiting and wanting to re-sign with the Bulls. But right now, what it seems like is that he's like, you know what? I'm going to enter free agency and I'm going to test the waters because I know I'm a max player. I'm a max player. The Bulls had the number one seed in the Eastern Conference all the way through February. But after that, they fade away like a Michael Jordan fadeaway. It was bad. It was bad. And we know that we had a lot of injuries. You have Zach, especially with being able to be jumping about 50%. It was just not what you wanted to see, not what you wanted to hear, not what you wanted to experience, just because you were at the top of the mountain with the number one seed all the way through February. And then right after the All-Star break, it felt like the rug got pulled under them. And that's what it felt like to me. I don't know about you guys, but that's what it felt like to me. So now LaVine's contract has officially expired, and he revealed this past Friday that he is in no rush to make any decisions. This is what he told reporters. I plan to enjoy free agency, LaVine told reporters. We're going to have an experience from A to Z without making any fast decisions. I think that's something for me and my agent, Rich Paul, are going to go through and experience. When asked if the Bulls are the front runners for his services, LaVine was non-committal. You guys have been a really, really soft spot in my heart, he said. I have to do this as a business decision, as a man, to not just be viewed one way and be like, I'm automatically coming back or I'm automatically leaving. Right now, everything is up in the air. I think the Bulls have about 18.6 cap space, with or without, because the max contract is on the side. And you also have like about 5 players that have expiring contracts. I think 4 of them are expiring contracts and 1 has a player option. They really don't have that many options. They need to sign him. And even if they're gonna part ways, then you sign and trade him and get some assets back. At least Zach can do that for the team. But this man looks like he's leaving. I don't know. I mean, I would love for him to be here. I think that 100% Zach LaVine and a more aggressive Zach LaVine, where he's driving to the hole, where his jumper is more proficient, is just another weapon. You have DeMar DeRozan with the mid-range game, and being able to take over the fourth quarter. But I did see a lot of Zach LaVine deferring. Whether that's injury or is that his personality, we don't know because he hasn't been 100%. So that's my biggest thing right now is like, are you going to always defer? Like, I need you to man up and drive to the hole and take that aggression out. Let's go. Let's go. Because what I've been seeing with this Bulls team is a lot of standing around. Everyone's waiting for DeMar DeRozan to do something. Or they take turns. Here, you take this one. I take this one. You take this one. I take this one. And that seems to be a problem when no one else is moving around. Everyone's just standing watching what you're doing. So this could be a multitude of issues, whether it be coaching, whether it's the personnel. I don't know. I don't envy right now Acme. I know they're being aggressive and what they're doing and moving chess pieces back and forth, but they have their work cut out for them. All right, let's move over to the Chicago Bears. All right, here's some news for the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears have released quarterback BDN Nick Foles. The team announced this past Sunday that the Bears originally acquired Foles 2 seasons ago in a trade with Jacksonville Jaguars for a 4th-round draft pick. And now he is being let go after they could not find a trade partner. Are you guys upset about that? Yeah, I didn't think so either. There's no way anyone should be upset. I know he's a veteran, and everyone's going to say, well, he can teach Justin Fields on what it is to be a professional and how to read defense. I mean, that's what he has coaching staff. That's what he has a coaching staff. And I'm pretty sure that the coach's quarterback is in charge of that. I think the head coach is in charge of that. He's got a lot of support. So let's not worry about BDN leaving the Chicago Bears. I know that there was some frustration with the last administration, but I think right now with the current administration, it is time to turn the page and let's move forward. And I know they're not saying that they want to do a rebuild, but let's face the facts. This is a full-on rebuild. All right, let's talk about these Chicago Bears draft pick. The Chicago Bears welcomed 11 new players to their roster this past weekend during the 2022 NFL Draft, including 2 players who projected to serve as immediate starters in cornerback Kyler Gordon and safety Jaquan Brisker. I mean, it's way too early to start evaluating whether this is a good draft or a bad draft, and everyone has their opinions, but let's face the facts. It takes about 2 to 3 years to see what this player is going to develop into, unless you have one of those top 5 picks where you know they're gold. They're going to be cemented into the starting lineup. Let's just stop jumping to conclusions and give these young men a chance to develop and to show out. I mean, round 2, pick 39, Kyler Gordon from Washington. He's a versatile cornerback, not with a Q, and he has experience playing both on the outside and an inside slot. He looks like he's going to be one of the starters, probably be starting on the outside where he has potential to become a lockdown corner at the NFL level. So, I mean, there's a lot of what I'm reading. He is a grade A draft pick. And again, it's everyone has their opinion. I think it's still too early to be grading everyone because you don't know how they're going to fit into the system and how mentally they're going to be able to react and physically. And it's way too early. But if you look at their past resume of what they've done in college and so forth, then you can grade them on that. But right now, as a professional, we can't grade them yet. All right, round 2, pick 48, safety Jaquan Brisker from Penn State. So we needed a safety, considering Edgie Jackson and a bunch of other stuff we had going on at safety that we had issues there. So Jackson is going to be locked in as a starter. And the problem is who's going to start on the other side of him. But you look like Brisker is a favorite to start immediately as well. So Brisker is an instinctive athlete and a nice combination of size, speed, and strength, and he can develop into a playmaker. So it looks like the grade on this pick is a B+. I'm being super conservative because I've been burned before with getting my hopes up with the Bears. All right, round 3, pick 71, wide receiver is it Velus Jones Jr.? I know I'm going to get crucified on that, but, I can't pronounce stuff. He is from Tennessee. Let's see. He projects as a wide receiver number 3 for the Bears behind Mooney and Pringle. Wow, Pringle's still on the team. I don't even want to start that whole page. Obviously, wide receivers take a while to develop. So it looks like he is best after the catch. So he's a very speedy guy. And he's graded as a C. Round 5, pick 168. Offensive tackle Braxton Jones from Southern Utah. He's a 3-year starter with great rush blocking abilities. It'll be interesting to see where Jones fit going into training camp, whether he ends up as a starting offensive tackle or he's moved around. So this is a great pick. We do need offensive line help to help Justin Fields not get killed every time he takes the ball. So this is a grade A pick, and these grades are by NFL. These picks are given up by USA Today. All right, round number 5, pick 174, edge Dominique Robinson of Miami of Ohio. Looks like he's going to be our edge rusher. There's certainly a lot to like about this pick. He's 6'4", 274. He ran a 4.72 in his 40-yard dash. He was 0.2 seconds faster than second overall pick Aiden Hutchinson. But the most attractive part of Robinson is he only played defense at a high level for 2 seasons. So there's a lot of room for growth. He's a lot younger. I think this is a really, really good project to put out there. But again, this is a boom or bust pick. I think that it's going to be a boom pick, and what looks like it's going to be a grade A pick. Round number 6, pick 186, offensive tackle Zach Thomas of San Diego State. The versatility of this player brings exciting. The versatility Thomas brings is exciting due to his ability to play 3 positions. He plays 17 games at right tackle, 14 at left, and 2 games at right guard. Thomas fires off the ball and helps the running game with his skill set. So on a couple of the weaknesses the scout saw was he overextended as a pass blocker, and it can be worked over. This is going to be worked over in OTAs and preseason. So this is something that we need to work on as far as developing this young man. So this is going to be kind of a project. His grade is a C+. All right, round 6, pick 203, running back Treston Ebner from Baylor. He found success in both passing and running game throughout the 5 seasons at Baylor. He is 5'11", 215 pounds. He rushed for 1,690 yards and 9 touchdowns in college. And he had 127 catches and 1,500 yards and 11 touchdowns. So he is a combo running back. That means he can rush the ball and he can catch it outside the pocket. So this is another typical Bears running back that can do a little bit of everything. This is a grade A pick. I like the pick because at some point we're going to have to move on from the running back that we do have and get younger. All right, I'm just going to pick one more pick here, and then after that, you guys can crucify me on next week when he comes back and he breaks down this even further, because I'm not going to go into the deep end of the pool because I'm a shallow swimmer. All right, round number 6, pick 207, offensive lineman Doug Kramer from Illinois. Doug Kramer was projected to be anywhere from a late round day 3 pick to an undrafted free agent. He will help depth in the interior offensive line, whether he's an extra player for training camp or earns a spot on the roster. He's 6'2", 305 pounds. He has good size for his position. Scout like his attitude, but we'll see if he makes the 53-man roster. This is a C- pick. All right, let's transition from the gridiron to the pitch and talk a little bit about soccer. Yeah, E, I know you hate soccer, but I'm gonna talk about it because you can't stop me. All right, TCSF unit first. The Chicago Fire. Oh, man, this was a tough loss, a very tough loss. And it was pretty much a combination of the extended weather delay. It was If you weren't in Chicago this past weekend, there was a lot of rain, a lot of wind, a lot of thunderstorms. It was crazy. They had a crazy about a 1 hour and a half weather delay. There was 4 yellow cards split between 2 Fire players. A yellow card on. I'm gonna mess this up. Klimala? Yeah, sure. Klimala. I didn't get to watch the game because I was watching NBA basketball. Sorry, guys. So he got a yellow card that could have been a red and a penalty call that the home fans are not going to be happy about, that resulted in a penalty kick conversion to decide the match. I mean, the Fire at some point will play with 9 guys. And if you don't know soccer, you need 11 on the pitch, on the field. So if you're down 2 men, the other teams are able to maneuver the football, the soccer ball, the football all over the pitch. So I don't expect to see this undisciplined play over and over. The Fire, again, they're an upcoming team. They're going to regroup and come back. So I expect the Fire to be in the playoffs. I'm calling it right now. The Fire will be in the playoffs. All right, fans, we'll be right back with 3 up and 3 down after a word from our sponsors.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
We all know that 2020 was no joke, and with an ever-changing world climate, many people are looking for a new opportunity. Guys, are you looking for a career that rewards effort and makes you feel valued as a team member? Let me tell you a little about our friends at ACSI. ACSI is a certified RCN business agent. They provide the same RCN services with a personalized touch. Their sales and technician teams work hand in hand, ensuring your experience will be smooth and pleasant. Gone are the days of being transferred from one person to the next. At ACSI, they handle everything from start to finish. It's never been so easy to get internet service. ACSI is a growing Chicagoland company that encourages personal growth and rewards perseverance. As they expand, they're looking for passionate, responsible, and honest professionals to join their team. A career with ACSI means you will be part of a hardworking, flexible, and dynamic team that is a leader in the installation of cable and internet services in the Chicagoland area. Best of all, ACSI was awarded Hacia's 2020 Contractor of the Year Award. Are you ready to grow with a local Chicago company on the rise? Check out acsi.tech and click on careers to get started. That's acsi.tech and click on careers.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z. This is 3 up and 3 down.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Oh boy, your Cubbies, E, your Cubbies, E. Everybody has Cubbies. Everybody's a Cub fan. Well, not me. But, what is going on with these Cubbies? We knew that they were not going to be world beaters. Right now, they're playing the Brewers of Milwaukee. And as of right now, this is Sunday night. So it looks like they're winning this game at the moment. But there's a lot of issues that are happening right now with the Cubs. Excuse me. A lot of issues are happening now with the Cubs, especially with the rotation. It looks like the rotation, which I've said for a while that it is going to be a sticky situation with the rotation, because I don't think this rotation can last the entire season. I think the middle bullpen and the back end of the bullpen has been great for what the talent that they have. But as a reminder, teams have to go from the 28-man active rosters back to no more 26 rosters by Monday morning. So that would have been yesterday, right? So with no more than 14 pitchers for the Cubs, looks like lefty Locke St. John being optioned back to AAA Iowa, and righty Ethan Roberts going on the IL with a right shoulder inflammation. So looks like they'll be moving a couple pitchers out just to stay under the rotation limitations. And then you also have Seiya Suzuki coming back to earth after shooting off a meteor-like season, just starting off really, really hot. So we know it wouldn't last despite a run-scoring double this past Sunday. I really like this player. I really like Seiya Suzuki. He looks pretty well. He's been 3 for 24. he looks like they found the kryptonite to Seiya Suzuki. He's 3 for 24. That's a 125 average, and has drawn 1 walk in the past week, striking out over 8 times. I mean, 8 times over a week is actually really, really good compared to what MLB looks like nowadays. So the Japanese outfit still boasts an impressive 405 on base percentage and a 172 OPS plus. And it's terrifying to think that once he figures out what they're doing to him, how he's going to make the adjustments, I think he breaks out of this slump very, very easily. Now, the issue is that he doesn't have a lot of protection in that lineup. I mean, Frank the Tank and Wisdom and so forth. And they're formidable MLB players, but they're no world beaters. So the big story with the Cubs is also related to the White Sox, because this Tuesday and Wednesday is a 2-game series up at the north side at the friendly confines for part 1 of the Chicago World Series. I don't know what the pitching matches are at the moment, because that can change. But this is one of those. This is bragging rights, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to start talking your smack, go back and forth, put some wagers on there. If you're putting money, sandwiches, or I don't know what else are you putting on the table, people. What is do you bet? Are you betting tattoos? Are you betting you got to wear the jersey or hat for the rest of the year? Oh, you got to hit me up with these bets. Come on, bring them in, people. So I don't know what you guys have betting, but I am not betting, because I've been taking some losses for the past 2 months on FanDuel. So I am staying very, very clear on that. I might bet you maybe, a refreshment, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's move over to the South Side. The White Sox. Let's start off with saying that Keuchel needs to be DFA'd. This man is just horrible, giving up at least 4 runs every single start. He's bad. He's bad at it. I know that the White Sox almost came back and won that game on Sunday against the Angels. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 9th. I think they scored 5 runs in the 9th on Sunday. But I mean, Keuchel giving up 4 runs just so easily. Come on. I know it's going to cost us. It cost us so much. I think it was like $18 million or something like that to DFA him. I don't think anybody's going to pick him up, but Jesus. I know. I got a bright spot. Johnny Cueto is pitching lights out in AAA. I would love to see him, give him a start, see how he does. It can only go up from right now. We have, I would think, about 9 or 10 players still on the IL, and I'm not going to go into that list. But let's talk about who's coming back. Joe Kelly and Mariachi is starting to rehab in AAA. Moncada hit a home run this past Sunday in a AAA game. Burr is back in the bullpen. So slowly but sure, we're getting some pieces back. Robert was in the lineup this weekend. So, I mean, it's really going to take a while to get these guys back in the lineup and build that chemistry. And again, there's the hype is there. The hype is there. You guys set the expectation that you're a first place team, and this is your year, and this is your year, and this is your year. It's time to put up or shut up. And I know these injuries are bothering the White Sox, but at the same time, you can't, put your head down and just look at the dirt. You've got to play with the players that you got. And I know we have Mendick and Lurie Garcia and a bunch of misfits that we have up here that shouldn't be up here. But at the same time, hey, they're major league players, and we've got to use them to the best of the ability until we get our regular guys back. Now, when Moncada comes back, he's going to be playing at third. I know Josh Harrison's going to move over to second, and that'll solidify your infield. What's going to happen with Berger? Berger's bat has been pretty decent. His defense has been pretty good too. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. And you also have Sheets and Vaughn, who are going to rotate in the outfield. The outfield right now is just a big rotation. So it's all about who's hitting. And I don't want to hear about, hitting against lefties and hitting against righties. Put the kids out there. They're not going to get better if they don't face the pitching that they're struggling against. I mean, they're not specialty players. They're not relievers. Okay, you're not a closer. We're not a starter. You're not a starting right fielder. Please don't start with that BS. Come on. All right, so I know the Sox are because of the whole quote unquote Latin players are struggling with the horrible weather, the cold weather, and the bats need to wake up. They need to wake up. and not just in the ninth inning when it's like, oh my God, we got to start playing to win this game. Let's go and put up 5 runs in the first inning. Come on, bat around. Give me that effort. Come on, let's go. They need to wake up, and especially versus the crosstown rivals, which is today. I know. So go White Sox. I know E-Rock is going for the Cubs, and a bunch of you guys are going for the Cubs. And I know there's more Cubs fans than White Sox fans, and that's fine. That's fine. But right now, we got 2 games, Tuesday and Wednesday, and I am cheering on my White Sox, and I think they split. This. So you guys can run this back next week and see how we do. But right now, I think it's a split. I think it'll be a very close game, and then a high-scoring game. So I think like a 1-2 for one of the games, and then I think like a 5-7 game for another one. So I'm hoping my White Sox can turn the ship around, because being in 3rd or 4th place right now is just not cutting it. And I think, again, the Cubs, as soon as they get their bearings together, I think they'll be a 500 team. All right, fans, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
We all know that 2020 was no joke, and with an ever-changing world climate, many people are looking for a new opportunity. Guys, are you looking for a career that rewards effort and makes you feel valued as a team member? Let me tell you a little about our friends at ACSI. ACSI is a certified RCN business agent. They provide the same RCN services with a personalized touch. Their sales and technician teams work hand in hand, ensuring your experience will be smooth and pleasant. Gone are the days of being transferred from one person to the next. At ACSI, they handle everything from start to finish. It's never been so easy to get internet service. ACSI is a growing Chicagoland company that encourages personal growth and rewards perseverance. As they expand, they're looking for passionate, responsible, and honest professionals to join their team. A career with ACSI means you'll be part of a hardworking, flexible, and dynamic team that is a leader in the installation of cable and internet services in the Chicagoland area. Best of all, ACSI was awarded Hacia's 2020 Contractor of the Year Award. Are you ready to grow with a local Chicago company on the rise? Check out acsi.tech and click on careers to get started. That's acsi.tech and click on careers.
Hey, what's up? This is Lex Cruz from Jungle AE Recording Studios and Illinois Media School, and you are now listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with E-Rock and Big Z. All right, people, it's that time again. You know what time it is. It's time for Stirring the Pot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I found something in the archives, in the interweb, and I want to know your opinion. I want to know your opinion if you're going to try this or not. Are you down with this? Are you not down with this? Is this disgusting? Or you're like, hey, I'll give it a shot. Yeah. So this is what I found, people. Tropicana, the people that make orange juice, is launching a cereal designed to pair with OJ. So it's called Tropicana Crunch, cereal made for OJ. So instead of pouring your milk, so if you're lactose intolerant, you would put your orange juice into it. So from what the picture looks like, it kind of looks like some cornflakes with some, some grains and nuts and stuff like that. So is this something you would try? Is that a yay or a nay? Orange juice in your cereal. First of all, have you tried this before? Have you run out of milk and put OJ? Some of you sickos out there might have done this. Are you one of those sickos? Or have you put water? Are you a water and cereal person? Ugh. I'm just gonna leave the bowl there. I'll eat the cereal dry. There's no way I'm putting water in there or OJ. You gotta be out your effing mind. No way. OJ and cereal do not mix. You want to fight me on that? We can figure out where we can have a duel. But there's no way in hell I'm putting OJ on my cereal.
For the love of God!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, what are you looking at? What are some shows that you're watching? What is the movies you're watching? What is entertaining your mind that is not sports? All right, for me and a lot of people around the world, we've been anticipating the finale the part 2, I believe it's season 4 of Ozark. And let me just say, this did not disappoint. Holy bejesus. Jason Bateman has done a great job directing, producing, and acting in this series. The storytelling is just amazing. The arcs, the suspension that you have of watching the show, like what's going to happen next, because anything can happen. Any crazy thing can happen. I don't want to ruin it or give any spoilers out because it just came out this past weekend. So I'll let everybody catch up. But Ozark, it is a roller coaster. And it's one of those you cannot stop watching. You will binge it. You can't do one episode and then come back to it. I'm talking to you, E. You can't do that. So Ozark, you've got to binge it. I think it's about, 4, 5, 6 episodes. I couldn't even tell because I just kept watching and watching and watching. And the finale, I think they did a good job. I think the last episode was a good job where they wrapped up a lot of things. Obviously, no series finale wraps up everything in a bow and makes everybody happy. A la Sopranos. Okay? It doesn't fade to black, but they do wrap up a lot of issues or a lot of storylines. But it's not going to leave everybody happy. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Not gonna leave everybody happy. You're gonna be like, oh, what about this? What about that? Do your favorite characters make it all the way through? Do they not? I'm not gonna spoil it. So definitely watch Ozark season 4 part 2. It is a must watch. All right, the other thing that I have been watching this week because of Winning Time, it has piqued up my ears about the 80s Lakers. There's something called on Apple TV. It's called They Call Me Magic. So it is Magic Johnson's a Magic Johnson documentary where they take his firsthand account about these situations and parts of his life, and it kind of goes hand in hand with Winning Time. I think it fills in a lot of the gaps because you're hearing it from the man himself and what he felt, and then you're hearing from players themselves and coaches and front office personnel. So you're getting firsthand accounts during that time as Magic's coming up as a rookie and moving forward. So it is a must watch. It's also on Apple TV. I don't think I'm spoiling everything because this is from the past and it's history. So again, you've got to watch it. I've met Magic once while I was teaching. Very gracious man. I mean, my interaction was probably like 45 seconds with the man. So he made a great impression on me. He's got that magic smile, no pun intended there, but he is a person that, he steps in a room and you feel his presence. So again, it radiates through the TV. It is a must watch and it supplements your Winning Time crave. All right, y'all, that is it for today. Thank you for listening. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and ACSI, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at the checkout for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official shirts now. Support us. And don't forget to visit our guy Danny and his friends at acsi.tech and check out the career section and start a new career in the communications industry. Go to acsi.tech, that is acsi.tech, and click on careers to apply today. Go and get your 2022 started off right. And don't forget to check out our friends at the Shy Native Radio Podcast, now available on all major platforms. Mike Logic, Ideal, and Throw MC talk about sports, movies, and all type of ill Go and check them out right now. Shout out to Ronesh, Panic, and Serious Beats, and custom made for the beats we played on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for your moment merch and gear. Check us out on social media. You can find us at True Shy Fans on Twitter and on TikTok. Find us on Facebook, IG, and Spotify, and reach out to us on our email. We want to hear from you. Give us your story in the pod. Give us your show recommendations. We love to have fan interaction, fan feedback. Reach us at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, y'all. For E-Rock, this is Big Z, and we will both see you next week for episode 95. Until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real.
Shut your mouth.
Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos. That's all. I shouldn't have had those artichoke poppers.